Brigitte Bardot, born 1934, Paris, became one of the defining French cultural figures of the post-war era. A model turned actor whose screen presence, fashion influence, and media aura helped reshape international ideas about French modernity, glamour, and sexual freedom. Her fame was never limited to cinema. It expanded into popular music, photography, tabloid journalism, and later, high-profile animal rights activism, which ultimately eclipsed her film career in duration and public controversy. Early life and entry into the spotlight. Bardot was born and raised in Paris and trained in dance before moving into modeling, an experience that shaped her posture, camera awareness, and the poised yet natural physicality that would become her signature on film. In the conservative, rapidly changing atmosphere of post-war France, youth culture was beginning to demand new icons, figures who embodied spontaneity and modern desire rather than the formal, stage-trained style that had dominated earlier European screen acting. Modeling helped Bardot learn the mechanics of image-making, how photographers constructed beauty, how editors cropped a persona, and how public fascination could be cultivated without disclosing much private interiority. This education in visibility mattered because Bardot's later stardom was, in many ways, about the idea of Bardot, an image endlessly reproduced, discussed, admired, criticized, and imitated across borders. Breakthrough and God Created Woman, 1956. Bardot's international breakthrough is closely associated with And God Created Woman, 1956, directed by Roger Vadim and starring Bardot. The film's impact rested not only on plot or dialogue, but on the way it framed Bardot's character as a disruptive force in a small community, an embodiment of sensual independence that challenged mid-century expectations. The international attention surrounding the film accelerated Bardot's transformation from a promising French performer into a global phenomenon whose style, hair, clothing, makeup, and attitude was copied by audiences who had never seen her earlier work. Her stardom also arrived at a cultural turning point. Mass media was expanding, celebrity journalism was becoming more aggressive, and the private lives of stars were turning into public commodities. Stardom, screen persona, and the Bardot effect. Bardot's screen persona blended innocence and provocation in a way that made her both a symbol of liberation and a lightning rod for moral anxiety. She did not merely play sensuality. She seemed to inhabit it casually, as though it were a natural language, one that older cultural gatekeepers found unsettling precisely because it looked effortless. As her visibility grew, Bardot became a fashion reference point and an advertising-grade icon, even when she was not explicitly selling a product. Her image circulated through posters, magazine spreads, press photos, and film publicity, creating a feedback loop. Each new appearance confirmed the myth, and the myth made each new appearance more newsworthy. Public attention, privacy, and the cost of fame. Mid-century celebrity culture could be brutal, and Bardot's fame was famously intense. The more she became a symbol, the less space remained for her to be seen as a private individual, rather than a public canvas onto which society projected desire, fear, and fantasy. In many biographies, this relentless exposure is treated as a key context for understanding her later withdrawal from screen acting and her decision to place her energy elsewhere. Bardot's story shows how stardom can be both empowering and enclosing, a form of mobility and influence that simultaneously narrows personal freedom. Retirement from acting, 1973. Bardot retired from acting in 1973, a major turning point that effectively separated her public identity into two eras, the film star and the activist. For many public figures, retirement from entertainment is gradual. Bardot's decision is often described as firm, reflecting disillusionment with the industry and a desire to escape its pressures. After stepping away from cinema, she remained globally recognizable, proof that her celebrity had become durable cultural material rather than something dependent on continuing film roles. This endurance helped her later activism. Even people unfamiliar with her filmography often recognized her name and face, which amplified her ability to draw attention to causes. Animal rights activism and the Fondation Brigitte Bardot. In the later phase of her life, Bardot became strongly associated with animal protection and animal rights advocacy, turning celebrity into a platform for campaigns that she considered urgent and morally non-negotiable. A central institutional expression of that commitment is the Fondation Brigitte Bardot, commonly dated to 1986 as its founding period. The foundation's official status is tied to French public law recognition. A decree dated the 21st of February. February 1992 recognizes a foundation as an établissement d'utilité publique, public utility status, a milestone often highlighted in materials related to the organization. In practical terms, the Foundation's work is associated with animal welfare actions and support for animal protection efforts, and Bardot's public identity in later decades has frequently been framed through that mission. Cinema, style, and controversy. Bardot's legacy remains complicated because her influence is undeniable, while her public interventions in later life have often provoked strong reactions. As a film figure, she helped define an era's aesthetics and global fantasies about France. As a personality, she demonstrated how fame can be repurposed into activism, transforming a screen icon into a campaign symbol. The enduring fascination with Bardot reflects a broader cultural pattern. Societies repeatedly return to celebrities who crystallize historical change, especially those who shift roles dramatically from entertainment to political or moral crusade. In that sense, Bardot remains less a closed chapter than a living debate about art, image, autonomy, and responsibility in public life.